Hey, this is Mac from inside the principal's office. It's summertime. You know what that means? Planes, trains, automobiles, and taxi cabs. Yeah, you're either going out building memories on vacation with your kids, or you are being a taxi cab, taking them from activity to activity to ensure that they have a great summer vacation. Hey, we want to talk about what activities you can do to ensure your kids don't regress over the summer, to ensure that they maintain all of their learning and they're ready for the next grade level. We're talking about it this Saturday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me and my co-host, Charles Williams, as we discuss the best summer activities for summer learning. I want to see you on all of School Rubric's social media platforms. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. About as amazing as this view. See you there.
Hey, it's Charles Williams from inside the principal's office, and this week we're going to talk to you about slides. Now, slides can be a lot of fun. I mean, you've got water slides, if you like sports, you've got soccer slides, and of course, who doesn't love the electric slide? But those aren't the types of slides we're talking about. No, we are talking about the notorious summer slide. So join me and my co-host, Michael McWilliams, this Saturday, June 19th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as we talk about how we can best support our students during the upcoming break. I hope to see you there.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Inside the Principal's Office. My name is Michael McWilliams, one of the co-hosts of Inside the Principal's Office, and I am so glad to be here. I am a career principal. Get this. I know I look young, but next year I'll celebrate 20 years as an elementary school principal. Yes, 2 decades in leadership, and I am still very passionate about the work that we do. I'm so excited to be back here today. I am so happy to be with my co-host. He did a wonderful opening, didn't he? I kept waiting for him to do the electric slide, but he went back and he used footage instead of doing it himself. He lost 2 cool points, but let's see if he can earn it back sometimes in this broadcast today. Charles, it's good to see you, man. Happy Juneteenth.
Good morning, Mac. Yes, happy Juneteenth. And that is perfect segue because first of all, before we jump into everything, first of all, I wanted to say this is happening on June 19th, which means that it is Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth to everyone out there. And tomorrow is Father's Day. So very happy Father's Day to you, Mac, to you, Chris, to Walt, behind the scenes. And I wore my special shirt here. Black Fathers Matter. So Juneteenth, Father's Day, we're blending all those things together. So welcome to the show. Super excited to have you here. Hopefully I'm getting some cool points back here because I can't lose those. It was a crazy week. We just finished up school. So yesterday was my last day of school. And it has been a busy week, but I'm so excited to be here in this space with all of you. My name is Charles Williams. I am a principal in Chicago. I don't have quite 20 years in that space. I'm trying to catch up to Mac, but super excited for the work we're doing. Co-host of this show, host of the Counter Narrative podcast, and the founder of CW Consulting. But you guys know me. You've been to the show. You know Mac. You've been to the show. You love us. You enjoy coming to see us. But the truth is, you don't come for us. You come for our amazing guests. So I'm going to turn this over to Francesca and to Chris. So Francesca, could you start off? Tell our guests just a little bit about yourself.
So after a career of 18 years working in American international schools overseas in China and Singapore and Morocco and Zambia, I wanted to come back to the United States to connect to education here in America. And so I'm the head of upper school at St. George's School in Spokane, Washington. We're a small and tight community. We're an IB school and in a beautiful little part of Washington. So my experience has been working as an English teacher and an EAL specialist. And yeah, that's me. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank
Let's
you.
turn it over to you because I know you are on the other side of the world, well, at least from us.
Yes, I am. I'm 12 hours away, time zone wise, in Shenzhen, China, which is a beautiful part of China, very modern. You can see the little picture in the background.
Yeah.
That's kind of the skyline here. Very, very happening place. Completely different from where I was, which was Venezuela for many years. I left Canada in '97, did 3 different schools in Venezuela, and this is my 5th year as a principal. So a lot of time in education and only 5 years as a principal, not as many as you guys, but trying to catch up. And I'm at my first IB school here and excited to join you today.
Nice. I know it's Mac's turn, but I have to say I'm really jealous. Like you guys are like Canada to Venezuela to like Zambia and all. I was like, I went from Hammond to Gary to Chicago. Like I got to get out there and travel. And I know Wallace and School Rubric is trying to get me out into becoming international schools. So it's becoming more and more tempting, guys. So I'm sorry, Mac. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is very appealing, and I can't wait to glean from you. I have my handy dandy notebook. And I'm ready to learn from you. And that's what we say about this opportunity. This is a safe place for principals to collaborate and to learn. And I learned so much from our guest. I learned so much from Charles. So we want to get started today. Today, we're going to talk about a very important subject. We know that Charles just finished his school year. I've been out for a couple of weeks. I am actually from Texas, but enjoying San Francisco. Hey, Nancy Pedalick, that's one of my staff members. She's been out since the 26th of May.
Morning.
So we're going to get started today, and we're talking today about activities that you would suggest to help parents and to help our school community combat summer slide. How can we best support our students during the break? We have a couple of questions that have been recorded that we're going to ask. And one of the favorite parts of this show is the ideas that stick, which is truly a call to action. What can we do as a result of our time together? How can we go out and ensure that more kids are learning at high levels?
Wonderful. And look, we both got people on. Good morning, McCurdy. Happy to have you here. That is one of my teachers. I always complain. I'm like, Mac has his like crew show up in force. And I'm just like, wait, crickets. So good morning, Mac. And good morning, everyone else.
They love you, Charles.
So please make sure if you are watching, please make sure that you drop a comment, drop a question. And we would love to hear your thoughts as well. So as we are providing insights and responses to the question, do not feel that you just have to sit there and absorb everything that we're saying. We want to hear from you as well. So please join the conversation and drop your responses to these as well. And speaking of, it's time for our very first question coming from Maggie Billhorn out of Chicago, Illinois. Let's see what she has to say.
Hello, my name is Maggie Billhorn. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My question is, what programs or initiatives have you guys implemented with the help of stakeholders that will help keep students engaged over the summer? Thank you.
I love this question. It's not just about us, but what are we doing with our stakeholders as well in order to keep our students engaged? So, Chris, I'm going to kick it over to you first. What are some of the things that you guys normally do?
Well, first thing is you have to understand the context of where I'm at, which is Shenzhen, China. So the parents are super motivated for their kids starting in like kindergarten. Okay, you're going to go to Harvard, you're going to go to Cambridge, and like literally that's the game plan. They're in all these extra activities to the point where the government just said, no, you can't do that anymore. You have to. You cannot just throw them into like 5 hours of activities every night in grade 1, and it's just come out. So they do recognize this social emotional balance here, but there's still I mean that just happened. So right now we have to cater to that demand of our parents, at least provide the offerings. So that's one of our stakeholders. The other is also I'm looking at the middle school lens right now, is working with the teachers and what's feasible, what's engaging for the students, what are they actually going to do, and it's finding that balance or blend of those things to start.
Absolutely. Thank you. Francesca, what about you?
So I am swinging to the absolute extreme in this one, and we've put our academic reading recommendations aside, and we are encouraging kids 100% to get outside. So here in Eastern Washington, we've got access to all sorts of parks and forests and rivers and stuff. And so we've organized our biggest outdoor trip. We've got an outdoor club with a bunch of high school students, and maybe 27 students are going on an 11-day hiking trip down in the Green River of Utah. And so normally it's like 12, 15 kids that sign up. And this year we had 20 plus kids want to get involved. And so that's screen-free, being outside, huffing it up the hills, and just basically the opposite of everything that this year has been, whether it was inside, in front of a screen, isolated, sitting. The four opposites of that are outside, moving, screens down, and connecting with each other. So get outside.
I love that. I would love to come and join you in one of these. I love being outside. I love.
Gotta carry your own backpack though.
Hey, that is okay. I was a scout for years. It's okay. no big deal.
All right. All right.
But you know what? I was going to say, I love that idea, right? Putting away the screens, kind of doing those things.
Yeah.
And so my students, we don't have a lot of that around us. And a lot of times my students are kind of contained to their neighborhood. So this year, what we're doing is we're bringing it to them. So I'm super excited this year. We have a summer camp running, completely optional, some academics, a lot of enrichment and activities and fun. But we're also bringing in these STEM pop-ups. So we're going to have 2 days of like carnivals going on at the school where there's STEM trucks from organizations around the city, like a dunk tank. We had a water balloon fight on the last day of school. So they're like, can we dunk you next time? Like the things we do. But it's just, again, having them in person together away from the screens. And it's like, yeah, you're learning, but you don't realize you're learning because you're having fun in that. And for me, that's super important. Like I can't make the summer feel like school, like your earring said, it's been bananas. We need to do something different.
Hence the banana earrings. Yeah, it has been bananas. I agree with all of that. I think that this summer, one of the very important things that we have to do is to remember we serve kids, and kids need an opportunity to be kids and to have activities. And another thing that I think about is the fact that kids need experiences that are very important because they draw from prior knowledge. So, we have some academic things going this summer. We have a reading challenge for kids over the summer. But I've stressed to parents and I've stressed to even staff members, that outside move, let kids be kids. And we all know, I was a writing teacher, a 6th grade writing teacher. We know that first writing assignment that you're going to do when you get back. What did you do? Let's make sure that our kids have some very robust experiences that they can write about when they come back. Another thing that we're doing in our district is we have a program that we're calling Jumpstart. So we've already sent invitations out looking at end of the year data, kids that we know are going to possibly struggle when they return. We're inviting them to come back 2 weeks early. So we have 30 kids per grade level that will actually start school 2 weeks early just to get a jump start on the year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I'd like to just piggyback a little bit on the camp idea, if you don't mind. We normally would run a very robust camp. We have all kinds of teachers involved in the summer who choose to stay in Shenzhen and not travel and make a few extra bucks or make a few extra bucks and then travel. But this summer, as principals, we sat down and we said, no, we're not going to let them. We needed to protect their
Vacation time.
Social emotional need. I mean, many of our teachers got stuck outside of China for months and months, and had to deal with all kinds of other stresses, and were running virtual class at 12-hour time zone difference, and all this sort of stuff. So we were just like, no, we will provide the camps with outsourced reputable places, so that our teachers could also unplug, tune out, get outside, play, and then recharge and be okay in August.
Yeah.
Chris, that's a beautiful thing. We normally we just continue running, right? Teachers are always in the building, because I'm always in the building, right? I tell them I have my Murphy bed in one of the sets of lockers, right? So I literally told them, I said, these next 2 weeks, I don't want anybody in the building. Like, you are not allowed in the building. In fact, we closed off one of the weeks to do the deep cleans and all those things. Like no. And I'm glad to hear that there's other principals thinking that same thing. Like, we need to protect that time. Like, you need to recharge. And if I don't give you the space to do that, you are not going to be ready to go in August. So I love the fact that you brought that up.
Yeah. I would also say same thing. We usually have a ton of camps running on campus in the summer, and this year we have not. Harry Potter camp is not running. Some of the only activities that are going are like soccer camps, and some of those are outsourced by other coaches and teachers. So I agree with you. And just to add on to what you were saying, Chris, it's being outside doesn't need to be in some national park. You can enjoy just being in a park in your neighborhood, whether it's an urban park or just a little square of grass in a corner somewhere. If you're sitting under a tree with a book, that is being outside. And you don't need to be hiking or making fires outside. It doesn't need to be that. But one thing that I also have been thinking about, and parents, of course, are worried. The pandemic did not stop all of the need to compete academically and be high achievers, like Chris was saying. So we've got families who are wondering, what does the college process, the application process look like next year? And so one of the other priorities for us this summer is to lessen the anxiety that students and parents have around that. So our incredible college counselors are offering lots and lots of one-on-one sessions with parents and families and kids to, start talking about places that they can go visit. But I would say our only real scheduled academic event this summer are these college essay writing boot camps that our college counselor is running, and they're like these 2-hour virtual classes, seminars where kids can drop in and get started on their essays in a protected time, but also with other kids in the school who are all joining together. So those are opt-in, and I think kind of that's the big idea for a lot of these events. It's like opt-in or opt out and go for a hike. So reducing the anxiety of when kids come back to school in August is really important for us. So
right.
That was another thing that our stakeholders, we're still in competitive high schools where kids want to go to great schools, and how do they get the leg up to get there? So college essay writing over the summer.
Excellent. One thing I love about this show is not only do I, as an elementary principal, get the perspectives from different parts of the globe, but again, just hearing what your priorities are dealing with high school students, that is always truly engaging and interesting to me, because I don't think about things like you just shared, but that is important for me to know, because I'm growing graduates, and some of my young kids have older kids in their home. So thank you so much for bringing that perspective. You kind of jogged some thoughts in my mind today. We hope that those of you who are viewing are enjoying today's conversation. We want to remind you to like and subscribe on YouTube, and to make sure that you're following School Rubric. It's at School Rubric on all social media platforms. Not only is Inside the Principal's Office an excellent show, but there are many other opportunities for you to learn and grow yourself. Make an investment in yourself, in your leadership, in your career by following at School Rubric on all social media platforms. Now, July the 30th and the 31st, it's going down in Texas, Dallas, Texas. We are having our first Principals Meetup. And again, it is our endeavor to build a safe place for leaders to come, to connect, to grow, to network. And we're going to do this, yes, in person. As things begin to open up, we're going to meet in person. And we are so excited about the number of people who have already registered. And I want to tell you that we still have a few seats available. So look at the link. If you've not joined our Facebook group, go ahead and go to Facebook and ask to join inside the principal's office. It is going to be an excellent time of sharing. It's not a sit and get conference, but it's an opportunity, again, for us to connect, to grow, to learn from each other, and to take things away from this conference that we can immediately implement to improve our leadership. So as I've been saying, invest in yourself.
Hey, Mac. Do you have to be a principal to attend this amazing event?
No, you don't have to be a principal to do this. It is leaders. We're about leadership and leadership at every level. So, I know that, librarians, instructional coaches, teachers, anyone can come to this conference and learn, glean something, but then also contribute something to the learning environment. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be Texas size learning. And we know everything is larger, bigger in Texas. So come join us on the 30th and the 31st of July. We're going to jump into question 2. And question 2 is coming from Mr. Ryan Blake, all the way from Oklahoma.
Hi, my name is Ryan Blake, the principal at Stillwater Middle School in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Here's my question. If you were to identify the top 3 priorities for parents and their children over the summer, what would those be? And what resources might be needed for parents? Thanks.
Okay. Francesca?
Oh, I'll jump in with this one. So you can't ever leave that English teacher hat behind once you've been one. So the first one I would say is spend time reading. Reading helps students to become better writers. It helps them to expand their vocabulary, but also, LeVar Burton's slogan that we all know and love, take a look, it's in a book. And, I'm not going to sing that song for you, the Reading Rainbow song. That's maybe another day. It's Reading Rainbow. Anyway, but in all seriousness, though, I think one of the joys of reading is it can transport you to another world. So if you're stuck in a place you can't travel, tapping into your imagination by jumping into a book, it's unbeatable. So spend time reading, and then, like I said already, spending time outside, moving your body. But then the third thing that I would say is my advice is actually spend time in the company of friends, family, not just to combat the isolation that kids have felt, but to actually talk through and process what this whole year has been. I think the anxiety around academic success has not gone away during COVID, but kids are feeling less prepared because of the gaps that they might have in their learning or what they missed during the year. Mm-hmm. And so being real and having conversations with, your friends and your friend's mom about what strategies you use to dig in and build some of your resilience and grit. And I think people need to talk about how challenging this year was. So go outside, grab some of your friends, and just talk through and process how this has been for you. And as parents, reassure kids that it's going to be okay, because it is.
It is going to be okay. Chris, what 3 priorities would you suggest?
Well, the priorities, obviously readings are going to be huge. And I don't know if you mentioned it, but we talked about it earlier that the physical book is a great way to, one, make sure people around you know you're reading and not doing something else, but also just to connect. And it's a different tactile, experience for the students. Play is the other big one, which has also been mentioned. Another one that's important is feeding the passion. So whether the students are interested in gardening or cooking or music or whatever, just making sure that they have whatever they need to enjoy that. And it doesn't always have to be, brand new and fancy. Just give them an opportunity, make sure that there's time in their day and a few resources. Be creative with that if you need to be. but make sure that the students are able to, explore that passion. That's leading into the second part, which is, the resources. What kind of resources do the parents need to do? Another one would be the access time, the supervision. Make sure they get outside. Make sure they have friends they can call, even though they don't want to call. Because some of our kids are still not normal socially, depending on what where they've been living for the last while. That's a big part of it. And if they don't have books, like libraries have been closed, like seriously, like closed for months. So how are they going to get books? Like all this sort of stuff. School libraries are closed over the summer. Can they sign out books from their teacher? All this sort of different logistical things that parents need to be the problem solvers for the kids, because they may not have the answers. They want to, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
Excellent. And most definitely there's a common theme in everything that's been said this morning, and my priorities will be the same. My number one would be let kids be kids. They're kids, and let them, continuous theme, let them outside, let them get sweaty. Let them play in the mud, let them get dirty. Let's let our kids have experiences, because we know that a critical part of learning is activating prior knowledge. Let's give our kids experiences that they need and that they can draw from. So let them be kids. Most definitely let them read. Just let's let them be free to speak to resources. A lot of time parents think that they have to, don't go buy up tons of workbooks. Don't buy tons of workbooks and say you have to do pages 1 through 5 before you can go play. But let's look for some authentic experiences. It doesn't really have to cost a lot. I know in our district, we have actually a mobile library, which is an old school bus that they've renovated to be a library, and it goes from school to school, and there's a schedule, and kids can still check out books throughout the summer. But there's summer reading programs at public libraries. There's all kinds of things that are free. But most of all, let your kid be a kid, and you be a parent, and spend time building and making memories. Make memories with you.
Yeah, Mac, I know that you two represent some elementary schools and Chris middle school, but high school kids need to play too. They need to be unstructured. I think we think we're doing our kids favors when we sign them up for basketball, soccer, chess camp, and all these scheduled events. And just unstructured playtime. Get outside. I'm not sure if y'all remember this book, The Last Child in the Woods. It's Saving Our Children from Nature Deficit Disorder. And there's so much research that talks about positive self-esteem, even like lowered blood pressure from being outside just around trees. And so I think pushing kids outside into unstructured time under a tree. Breathe some of that air that, grass and nature does to us in the summer. I just can't stress that enough.
So, I don't have anything else to add. You guys have been tremendous in this area. That's the downside sometimes of going last in an amazing group like this. But, Francesca, something you just said is absolutely true. And it's not just for students, which brings us back to this idea of families doing this stuff together. We have spent so much time on screens, like to put down the phones, put down the computers, go out there and be together. But in a recent Men's Health magazine, it literally gave that idea that there's this ratio of how much time you should spend outdoors in nature. And even if you're spending like 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week out in nature, like it literally has health benefits for you. And so, even though this isn't a men's health magazine, I know for a fact it is good for women's health. It is good for children's health. It is good for everybody's health. So definitely do those things. Get out in the world. And I encourage parents, please don't force things to happen. Let that learning happen naturally and authentically. If your child discovers something, right, capitalize on that, jump into that. And definitely look for those free resources. Like we were saying, a lot of libraries are still closed. So one of the things we did is we did one of those little libraries. And I'm going to say this, and if somebody's watching from your organization, you could be angry. It's okay. They charge a ridiculous fee to be part of the little library.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so my building engineer Well, we just decided to make our own, and we put it outside, and we keep that thing full of books, and we weren't sure how it was going to go. But when you have to refill it week after week, it tells you that people in the community are stopping by and checking out those books. So parents, reach out to your schools, because your schools have a connection to all of those organizations in the community and could put you into touch with those people that will help you get whatever it is that you need, and it well beyond, right? All the assistance and things like that you may need. So even though it is summer, we as schools, we as school leaders, we're still working. We're still there for you. No worries there. Now, this brings me to my favorite part of the show, which is ideas that stick. And so this is just something that we take away. Remember, we wanted to say, this isn't just about conversation. This isn't just about theoretical. We want you to be able to walk away with something that you could actually do. So we're going to close out the show here with our ideas that stick. So I am up first, and that is exactly, I know we touched on this a little bit not too long ago, but just capitalizing on these learning opportunities, having an authentic learning that just kind of it happens, right? I have a grandson right now who's 4.5 years old, and he is discovering the world. You guys thought Mac was.
I'm like, yeah, right? You have a grandson?
So be prepared for those teachable moments. When it pops up, say, yes, let's jump on that. Let's explore that thing. Like I said earlier, don't force it. Let those things come naturally. So Francesca, you are up next.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to Reading Rainbow. Reading is not just for little kids who are singing a song. It's so reading is, entertainment, relaxation, reassurance, a creative outlet. And actually reading is a great means of escape. So take a look. It's in a book. That's my idea that sticks. And if we think of that visual of the rainbow, that's my plug that I would love for everyone to take away is being in nature. So the rainbow's outside, and take a look. It's in a book under a tree, under a rainbow. That's me. That's what I got.
Thank you, Francesca. And just saying, like LeVar Burton, I know there's been a lot of references, and a birdie told us that you may have a connection to school rubrics. So if you're watching, or somebody who knows, send it out. We are going to be asking you to be part of this some point.
Yes.
So, just saying, just putting it out there into the universe, manifest it. All right, Chris, you are up, sir.
Chris, you're on mute.
How many times have you heard that before?
Oh,
geez. Okay.
It's all right, Chris. We're with you.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? So hopefully I get the right one here, because my true one is mind, body, and soul. But we were talking about this earlier, and I summarized some other things. So mind being the reading, the math, all that sort of stuff. There
we go.
So the reading can be for pleasure. The math probably should be focused on what your learning gaps are. Body, exercise, outdoor, off the devices. And then the soul would be, play with others. Pursue your passion projects. Spend some time doing what matters, whether it's for you, it's playing cards with your family or whatever. But so mind, body, and soul would be mine.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Love it. Mac, you are up.
Excellent. So Chris was muted. Can something else we've heard for the past 15 months? Can you see my screen? Yeah, I can see the screen, and there's some wonderful takeaways on the screen. So someone may want to do a screenshot or take a picture. I say book clubs work. It's all about reading, and it's about talking about our reading, and it's about making connections to the things that we're reading. So why not a book club during the summer? That could be done virtually with get a circle of friends and let your kids meet on Zoom, or think about this, maybe a family book club where we've all read the same book, and then we're talking about what we've learned. Wow, we're going to Mexico in a couple of weeks for 7 days, and my wife's looking at me. Maybe I'll order 4 copies of some text, and maybe we will have a Mexico book club. Something to think about.
Yeah.
I can just imagine the kids now. They're like, no, Dad.
Yeah, like, that's what we signed up for. Parasailing and jet skiing. And my wife is over there saying, no, we love you. I travel with books. So we'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being part of the show. And Chris, don't worry about the mute thing. In fact, I'm imagining like the welcome back week for teachers and just standing up there and like mouthing the words like oh, I wanted to make you guys feel comfortable, right?
I'm writing that down. I'm doing that. That's my
I'm
opening
writing that
quote.
down too.
I'm writing that down.
Wow.
So
You're
thank
muted.
you. Thank you so much for an amazing show. And I know we talked about some of these things before, but viewers, just as a quick reminder, these conversations, as much fun as they are short. They are less than an hour long, but that does not mean the conversations, the discussions, the learning, and the growing has to stop. So please make sure that you join our Facebook group where you can continue to connect, where you can continue to ask questions and share your responses, and just find a community, a safe space where we can learn and grow together. Don't forget, there is Global Education Insights. Please, we want to hear your voices, and this is a great opportunity. I know that I just shared my own response to the upcoming questions, so please make sure that you join in for Global Education Insights, yet another avenue that School Rubric provides to make sure that educators from around the world are connected. We hope that you join us for our next episode on July 3rd. Really looking forward to that opportunity. And then, of course, do not forget at the end of July, we have our Dallas meetup. We want you to be there. And as Max said earlier, this is not just about principals. This is not just about administrators. We are talking to school leaders. And as what we know is that leadership occurs on every single level of the school. So if you are a school leader in any capacity and you want to continue learning and growing, please make sure that you join us down in Dallas for July 30th and on the 31st for a wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
And I heard that there's a pre-conference the day before. So it'll be 2 to 3 days of amazing connections there, right?
Yes.
Matt again, building that safe place is very important. Leadership can be very lonely. So we want to build a very robust community of learners across the nation, across the globe. And like we've been telling kids to get outside and play. Hey, this is our opportunity to get out and have adult conversations with others that are involved in this work of educating kids. Very important.
Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching the show, whether you are watching it live or you are watching it at a later time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And Francesca, Chris, I cannot say thank you enough for being here.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's been a real honor and a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, Francesca, you enjoy the rest of your time in Washington and that wonderful trip that you have coming up. And Chris, have fun tonight with your banana daiquiri.
There you go.
All right, guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching School Rubric on YouTube. Make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe in order to stay looped in on all of our diverse collection of shows, interviews, panels, tutorials, and more from educators around the globe. And visit us at schoolrubric.com for even more great content, such as our online articles, Interact magazine, featured podcasts, and more. Thank you.